pricing is one of the most challenging things that a consulting firm owner or a service-based professional struggle with. And if you don't price for profit, then you may not actually generate a profit. So a strategy here is when you're telling your price, right after you say the number, be quiet. Shh. Don't say nothing. Shh. Just be quiet and let them speak first. Give them time to figure out how to afford all of your awesomeness that you're bringing to the table. Welcome back to another episode of the Say Yes to Profits podcast. I'm your host, Octavia Conner. Here at Say Yes to Profits, we help seven-figure plus service-based professionals and consulting firm owners maximize cash flow, minimize taxes, master their finances, and confidently say yes to profits. In this episode, I will provide you with two pricing strategies that will ensure that you price your services profitably. What you must understand is that pricing for profit is one of the most critical decisions a service professional will ever make. Okay. It's not just about setting a number that feels good, right? We don't make decisions in our business based on our feelings, right? It's about making sure that your services are priced correctly so that you generate a profit with each and every sale that you make so that you achieve sustainable growth and long-term profitability. By mastering the art of pricing for profit, you position your business to thrive, not survive, but really have an excess of cash flow so that you smile when you log into your bank account. So let's go on over to the vibe board so I can show you how to price for profit. Now, as I mentioned before, pricing is one of the most critical, most important things you can do because when your services are not priced for profit, you're more than likely not making enough money to truly build a sustainable long-term business that not only generates a profit, but you have an excess amount of cash flow in your company. It starts with your pricing, right? And so, again, I want to show you two pricing strategies. But before we even get into the strategies, you all, I want to give you some pitfalls I want you to avoid, okay? And so we're going to call this pricing pitfalls. These are the things that honestly, most entrepreneurs, especially service professionals, especially consulting firm owners, are doing that actually hurts your pricing. And there are about 5 to 6 pricing pitfalls. And so the very first pitfall, and I want you to check yourself, okay? Because if you're doing this, I need you to stop like yesterday, okay? Okay. So the very first pricing pitfall is competing on price instead of value. And so you know your competitors, you know their price, and you're basically trying to price your services maybe a little bit lower than theirs so that you can secure clients from them or something like that. Listen, okay? That's the wrong way to do it. We're not competing on price. We're understanding the benefits and the value that we bring to the table as service providers, and we're pricing our services based on that. We're understanding how to demonstrate, how to illustrate those benefits, how to let people know that we're the best person to go with based on the services that you provide. And if you go with somebody else, you're making a mistake, right? And so we're not competing based on the price. We're understanding our value and our benefits, and we're leading with that, not the price, okay? Pitfall number 2 goes kind of into pitfall number 1, but it's about copying competitors' price. And so again, you on number 2, you look at their price and then you price your services based on their price without determining your cost and things like that. That is a huge mistake, okay? And I don't want you to make that. Mistake or pitfall number 3 is ignoring, and this is a big one. A lot of people do it. Ignoring your hidden costs. And so your hidden costs could be your direct costs, and that could be your labor, it could be your materials, supplies, tools, software, right? All of these you may need to factor in when you're pricing your services, but you're not doing that. And so I'm going to show you how to do that in the exercises that we're going to do, okay? The pricing strategy. Pitfall number 4 is over discounting. So I've seen so many times where service professionals will over discount their services because they're like, oh my goodness, I hope that they say yes. And so they give a huge discount, and it actually hurts the business owner because they're not bringing in enough money because they were so anxious right in the midst of trying to secure that sale, right? And so this looks a little like this. You're in the middle of a sales conversation. You've given your benefits or what have you. You've told the features or whatever. Benefits sell, features tell. Let me tell you that, okay? So lead with your benefits. But you've done all of that, and now it's time to tell them the price. And so you're so anxious and you're so nervous that you may spit out a price, but then you're like, oh, if you sign today, I'll give you 50% off, 60% off, or something like that, right? And so now you're bringing in much less money, but you still have all of these costs to cover while bringing in that much less money, and you still have to serve them in excellency, but you the one did it to yourself because you discounted your price right in the middle of it. You don't know if they were going to say yes at the amount that you put in front of them. You didn't even give it time. So a strategy here is when you're telling your price, right after you say the number, be quiet. Shh. Don't say nothing. Shh. Just be quiet and let them speak first. Give them time to figure out how to afford all of your awesomeness that you're bringing to the table. Okay? Because they may be trying to figure it out and not trying to say no, trying to figure out how to make it work because you've demonstrated your benefits and your value so much. Okay? And are you a multi six-figure business owner, or maybe you're even earning 7 figures as a service-based professional, but yet you're tired of struggling with cash flow issues, with financial uncertainties, with going through this feast or famine mode in your business? Like, do you ever feel like your money is slipping through your fingers despite your business's success? Where you're not alone. Many successful entrepreneurs are struggling. They're wrestling with these same challenges. Inconsistent cash flow that makes it impossible to scale. Financial reports that are confusing, or worse, non-existing. And then taxes and profits that you're like, oh, I want to generate a profit, but I got to pay taxes. I'm not receiving a CEO salary. Like, I just don't know what to do. If you're experiencing this, I want to invite you to the Say Yes to Profits Masterclass. This is a free, live, virtual event designed to help you turn your financial chaos into financial confidence, clarity, and control. We're going to deep dive into your cash, your commas, and your coins during an intimate, no fluff conversation that will allow you to walk away with tangible results. Like, listen, I'm going to show you how to master your finances, how to maximize cash flow, how to minimize your taxes so that you confidently say yes to profits. You want to register today by going to sayyes2profits.com/masterclass. Sayyes2profits.com/masterclass. So don't over discount and don't talk yourself out of a sale. Tell your price and be quiet, boo. Okay, so that is pitfall number 4. So pitfall number 5 is failing to adjust. So what do I mean, right? So basically, when you're failing to adjust, let's say you know you need to raise your prices, but you've had the same price for the same service for the last 9 years. You're not adjusting, right? When you could be making more. And so you want to price your services, test it out, and adjust as needed. You definitely want to adjust up, but sometimes you may have to adjust down. But like I tell my CFO clients, before you ever adjust down, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out, because it may be something that you're doing within your sales process that is preventing you from closing sales, right? And closing deals. So let's talk about that before you ever adjust down. But I do want you to think about adjusting up. and you can do this, you all, like at the first of the year, right? Or at the end of the year, you could increase your prices during that time. That's kind of a perfect time to do it. You can increase your prices on all new customers, and then all old customers, they keep the same price. Or as you sign 2 or 3 new customers, then you go and increase your price on one old customer, right? So if they say no, you have 2 or 3 other new customers that will replace that revenue that may go out because they said no. Okay, is this making sense? Yes, yes. Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. Now, what I want you to do, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to avoid these pricing pitfalls. So check yourself and see if you're doing any of these, and then avoid them today so that you never have to go through pricing struggles again. All right. So now let's move to the actual pricing strategy. So I want to go over pricing strategy number 1. And this pricing strategy, honestly, is my favorite. I use this pricing strategy in my business. I've used other ones. This one really ensures that we price for profit regardless, right? And so I call this pricing strategy. So we're going to say pricing strategy 1. I call this cost plus profit equal price. Okay. So remember how I said one of the pitfalls is ignoring your hidden costs. Well, this allows you to not ignore your hidden costs. So let's say you have a consulting package that you are securing a client for, right? And you think about all of the costs that you have to pay out of pocket, your direct costs to provide that service to your clients. And so again, the cost could be labor, as I said before, materials, it could be supplies, it could be your subscription has to increase because of this new client software, right? So you want to first of all get crystal clear on all of the costs that you incur to provide that service or product to your client, all right? And so let's use this example. So let's say that your total cost came up to $5,000, right? So we would put that there, we would put a plus. Now your profit, okay? You have to generate a profit with every sale that you make in your business. You should be saying yes to profits. And you need to do this, or you will be able to do this by being proactive with ensuring that you say yes to profits. Okay, y'all see how I did that? Okay, so I want you to think about what would you want to have left over in your bank account after you've sold that service and you've paid your team and your materials, supplies, and all that good stuff, right? How much would you want to have left over in your bank account, right? And then what is the percentage of that? Here's what I can tell you. If you are a service professional, if you are a consulting firm owner, then at a very minimum, you want a 30%, right? I will always say between 20 and 40% at a minimum that you want to generate with every sale every time, okay, in order to say yes to profit. So for this example, we're going to use 40%. Right? And so what we would do is take 5,000 times the 40%, and that's going to tell us how much of your profit it should be. So if we do 5,000 times 40%, that's $2,000. So let me put this up here as this formula times 40%. That's $2,000. So once you put these two together, right, bring it down like we in algebra class, y'all. Algebra was my favorite subject. Okay, so once you put these two together, that means the price for this particular service would be $7,000. It's simple. A lot of business owners make building profitable businesses so complicated when I just say keep it simple, cutie, right? This is pricing strategy number 1. Cost plus profit equal price, right? So we have all of your costs, your desired profit, 40%, 40% time your cost, that gives you $2,000. The price should be $7,000. This allows you to generate a profit and cover your costs. And a quick tip here, when you generate this and they pay this money should go in your financial peace and power account, right? This money should go separate because this is covering your costs. This is what's left over, okay? So again, pricing strategy number one, cost plus profit equal price. Moving right along. Pricing strategy number two, we're going to call this, client acquisition pricing. Okay, so how much does it cost to acquire your new clients? So this actual pricing strategy, there are two steps. In the previous one, there was one step. And so for step one, I need you to determine your client acquisition cost. So determine your acquisition cost. And so let's say for your client acquisition cost, you do Facebook ads or, marketing, sales and marketing or something like that to acquire a new client, right? So the formula for step number one is going to be total sales and marketing divided by number of clients. Okay? Total sales and marketing divided by number of clients. So let's say you spend $2,000 a month on Facebook ads. You normally will secure 20 clients with that $2,000. So that means your client acquisition cost is $100, right? So that's step one. Then we go to step two. I want to make this look a little better. So this price strategy two. Okay, so then this is step one. So now for step two, you would use the formula. So the formula this time is cost plus client acquisition cost plus profit. We're never, ever leaving out our profit equals price, right? And so let's use that same example, right? So let's say your cost is $5,000. Your client acquisition cost is $100, right? That came from here. You just drop that down, okay? We're doing algebra on the Say Yes to Profits podcast, okay? And then let's say your profit margin here is the same thing, right? So you want to generate a profit even with this. So let's do the math, right? So we have our cost. That's going to be $5,000 plus $100. Okay. And then we're going to multiply that by 40%, right? So we would take that 40%. And so that means our profit is $2,040, right? So once you take that $2,040 and then you add everything up again, this is going to cost $7,140. That is your price using the client acquisition formula, right? So again, step one, total sales and marketing divided by number of clients. Take that, drop that down into our formula, our cost, our client acquisition, our profit. That is your price. So those are the two formulas you can use to ensure that you generate a profit in your business. Business is a numbers game. Once you're able to understand and plug and play the numbers in, you will easily be able to say yes to profits in business. Is that clear? Yes, yes. I want you to let me know what questions you have in the comments. So now that you've learned two pricing for profits formulas, which formula will you use? Let me know that in the comments. What I want you all to remember here is that pricing isn't just about covering your costs. It is about ensuring that your business is sustainable and profitable with every sale, every month, every week, every time, and everything that you do. When you price for profits, you're setting the stage for financial freedom and long-term success, right? When your price reflects your true cost, when it reflects your desired profit margins, when it reflects the immense amount of value that you provide, it ensures that every transaction, you all, contributes to the growth and financial stability and profitability and long-term success of your business. And it is your fiscal responsibility as a business owner to price for profit. And the bottom line here is that proper pricing safeguards your bottom line. It communicates your worth, your expertise, your value, and what you bring to the table. You may bring the whole table and the enchilada and the food, but if your prices are priced like you're scared, then your clients and your customers, they're not going to value it like that, right? Does this make sense? Yes, yes? Again, let me know what pricing formula you're going to use going forward, okay? And if you learned anything from this episode, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now, all right? And then like this video and share this video as well. This is Octavia Conner, and until next time, say yes to profits, everyone. Toodles! Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Say Yes to Profits podcast. Now it is time for you to make money moves. Take action based on what you learn. Now, see you on the next episode. Say Yes to Profits. Toodles.